Mr. Bradshaw at AddSomeToYourIncome.com here to talk about ways to make extra money to pay off debt. I will go into an interesting set of statistics, numbers, to show that you deserve a raise and why. Actual big numbers to show how, and a chart, a graph that I've come across recently, which is one of the reasons I'm excited to talk about this, to show that your debt has gone up because you haven't gotten the raise that should have come to you. We'll look at the three types of incomes after that, with labor, as a part of that, labor income and gift income and passive income, and how to increase each of those. Then we'll look at the 5 bank accounts and where debt fits into the 5 bank accounts. Let's get started. On the Add Some to Your Income website, and with the videos that I'm putting together about adding to your money, it all came about because I wanted to make extra money. We didn't have a lot of debt at the time. I didn't feel like I was drowning in debt, but I did feel like so much of the advice focused on reducing spending. That's why I love this question. And if you found this, I love that you've asked this and you want to know how to do this. You and I are kindred spirits on this. How to make extra money to take care of that negative side of things. So welcome, and let's get started. In the three incomes, we have labor income, passive income, and gift income. Labor income is when you work today and you get paid right away. Passive income, you work today and you won't get paid till harvest. And we'll look at a couple of things you can do there that will help you to feel like you're going to pay off these debts. Gift income is when someone else worked yesterday, and there is someone else in your life who worked yesterday who could help you to remove some of your debts. And I will give a really good example of a neighbor of mine and how they dealt with some debt. Let's look first at labor income. Yes, ask for a raise. If you've wondered about that and you've thought maybe, ask. Those employees who ask impress their employers. And what's more is this information I promised I'm going to give you. This next picture you're going to see is a chart. I found it in a book. The original source is the Bureau of Labor Statistics. So lots of statistics, numbers, blah, blah, blah. I did not mean to say blah, 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 but that just came out. To say that the source of this was, this could be Our Future book. And in this graph, you're going to see across time the productivity versus the compensation. And the whole part of this book was talking about how productivity has continued to go up, and yet the hourly pay of individuals working has not gone up as fast. So what you're looking at, and I'll use my cursor here to help us, fairly even and equal until we get around the 1973 time frame. And then productivity continues to increase. Of course, a little dip here in 2008. But we see this increasing while the hourly compensation remains almost stable or steady and doesn't increase. That was interesting. I found that interesting. But what really struck me is this next graph. Because, okay, yeah, productivity went up 246%, while increase in pay only went up 115%. Okay. What really, really, really just got me is this next graph you're going to see, where it shows the household credit card debt. And so what you're seeing is that same graph we just looked at, showing productivity and showing your hourly compensation, our hourly compensation that's been happening since then. And then credit card debt goes up in an amazing amount, does another dip down here just past 2008. This is where I feel very confident in being able to say that you have earned that raise. I won't go in too much. I don't want us to feel really negative about our employers, but the book really went into a lot of detail. Feel free to get the book. It went into detail about how it basically means that the top earners have been making more and the hourly wage earners haven't. So ask for that raise. You're in this debt, you're up here in debt, and you're right here with your income, and ask for the raise. It deals with negotiating. As you go to get a new job, you may find that you need to move to a new place, new job, new career. You keep asking yourself the question, what more can I do to make more money? And you might find yourself as an after-school club director, or as someone working in driver's ed, or donating plasma. Maybe you're mowing a golf course and you're doing all these extra things as labor to make money. Passive income. I love to talk in passive income about how you need to do you. You're going to be the most valuable thing in the world and find ways to share yourself with the world. You may find that there are ways to get grants, scholarships, or donations. Like there's places like Donors Choose, and you can get some funds going to you and your cause. Depending on what your debt is and how you write your story, people might really connect with that and end up donating or giving scholarships to you. It becomes almost gift income as well, but I put it here as passive income because you kind of have to do the work today and then get the money later because of work you're going to do now. Investing. Now, this could be really tricky if you feel like you've got a lot of debt to get money to put into investing. However, you should be thinking about it and looking at it and spend some time on that. Don't just let this slide pass by without you actually think, okay, we want to get out of debt. So what if we take a chunk of change and instead of putting it onto debt, we invest it and we see a great return on our investment that then pays off the debt. Writing articles, writing books. I have here a few of my books that I've written. I've actually just put them into paper here and folded the paper in half just to feel like I'm actually putting it as a book. I've done a little bit of my own scribble visuals on these children's books. These particular ones are children's books. I've written other books about money as well, and books to talk about economics. They often can build from articles you write. So again, passive income that you do now, passive work you do now becomes income later. Buying wholesale, whatever you know in your life that you can buy in bulk and then end up selling at the regular price is going to really help your passive income. Becoming a speaker, investing in real estate such as rentals, or being a realtor yourself can be ways that you will find the opportunities of passive income to come to you. Now, gift income, I said I'm going to get to something special here. I always like to talk about ask. Do the ask and do it in a way that it paints the picture for the person to know how the money is going to be spent. So you say something like, we would really like to pay off this certain credit card debt because it's at 30% and it just hurts to think that our money is going out that fast. We have $12,000 more on it. What if, whoever you're talking to, mom, dad, brother, whoever you're talking to, what if, brother, you lend us the $12,000, we will pay you 8%, which is a lot more reasonable, and we'll get to pay off that credit card, and we'll owe you, and we'll make that 8% payment. It's tricky because, they could say no and pretty quick, especially if you've had money problems and you're in that spot. But at the same time, that ask and that clear statement of where it goes, it actually makes it easier for the other people because they could say, we will write the check to that company, not to you because we don't know where you're going to go spend it, but we will write that check to that company. Here's our agreement that is in writing that we're going to have. And they might even ask for something to be put up as what's called escrow, where you'd put something into an account. Let's say you take the title to your car, and you put the title to your car if you own it, Frinkler. You put the title of your car in a long-term escrow account, and for a really small amount of money, you can have a third party keep track of that so that there's not that family angst that could potentially happen if you didn't make your payment, because there's the third party that's saying, you're not getting the title of your car back until you've paid this debt off to so-and-so. I went a little bit longer on that than I was planning, as I want to get to this next part I promised, which is to ask Grandma and Grandpa. And the story of my neighbor I promised I would give about gift income. So I had this neighbor, and they had come across some extra expenses. One of their kids was in the hospital for a few weeks, and they came out of that with some really big medical expenses. It caused their budget to be in the red. All right, they went from being black to being in the red. So they looked at their numbers and they knew where they're at, and it just wasn't working out. So they went to Grandma and Grandpa, and they said, Grandma and Grandpa, we really wouldn't be asking this. We don't want to be asking a spot. These are the medical expenses. Here it is. And they just opened the books to Grandma and Grandpa. And they said, this is where we are. We are just at that point where more money is going out than coming in. And we're just wondering if you could pay off this particular hospital bill, and then we wouldn't have that monthly payment and our budget would be balanced again. Grandma and Grandpa said, we'll talk about it and get back to you. After Grandma and Grandpa talked, they decided not only to pay off that debt, but to give them an additional $2,000 of cash. That's gift income. There are people in your life that love you enough to help you out of your debt. You just got to ask. Open up the books. Show them where that money will help you get through this moment. As a bonus, 5 bank accounts. Oh, that was touching. I know that there are some people out there that are going to have some wonderful things happen in their life. The 5 bank accounts when you're in debt. So money is a flow, and you're finding yourself in this spot where you got this hole, and that money's gone into it, and you want to know how to get it out. Simply by being at this video, you've already started to get your brain ready to set up the income account. It is an account that only focuses on how to make more money. How do I make more money? And all the money you make goes into that account before it flows anywhere else, so that you can see how it's coming in, how much is coming in, and you can feel the blessings that are coming to you in that account. Saving to give is also important. When you are in debt, you sometimes start to crimp onto the money and want to keep it and put everything onto the debt accounts and just focus on that. Well, you're going to come out of that in a negative spot. So open up your fingers and create your account now. Even if you just put $5 in it, open this account. Save. I don't know you can open an account with $5 anymore. You probably need 100, but open the account and then be ready to give when those opportunities come. Saving to spend is where now you're not going to get further in debt because you have an account where you put in for big expenses. You know, you keep getting surprised every 6 months by your insurance payment. Well, now you're going to save to spend and be ready for that. Whatever it is that surprised you in the past won't surprise you anymore because you usually look at a whole year. Okay, look at your expenses for the whole year that come up and have that much money saved in an account. Yes, even before paying off other debt. This allows you to not get even further in debt so that you have that to pay. The save to keep means that you change from saying, oh, I don't have any money, or I spent all my money, or we're only in debt. We are in debt more than the money we have. By having money in the bank that you're never going to spend, you now switch your brain. It's a big switch where you say, I have money in the bank. You can then start to look at things like investing. Oh, I had an enjoyable time on this one. I'm so glad we talked about this. And I look forward to knowing, and feel free to comment or contact me at mr.bradshaw@addsometeyouриncome.com about you working your way out of the debt by focusing on ways to increase your income, your passive income, your labor income, your gift income, by opening the books and asking. I will see you on the other side.